And like many of you, I have a complicated relationship with Dota. What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together at the highest level of competition.
Okay, so this is how you recreate Seven's voice. You first need the free trial of FL Studio, and OTT, Speedfish, DSR, and then Vocal Synth 2. I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what Valve used to make his voice, but it's pretty expensive, so I'll show you free alternatives later in the video. So now, once you install the FL Studio, you will want this button first, so it's going to edit and find it here and just grab it, and it should be saved live dates. Then after you install everything, and from here just go to options, manage plugins, and you just find installed plugins. You scroll all the way down and then you just start everything you need. So for now we'll just need Vocal Synth 2, OTT, and Speedfish. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get the vocal sample. Let's just this voice of Gaben. Just cut. Start.
I'm personally very pleased that we're able to do this in Seattle for the...
Okay, so now that you have the clean audio, I want to search for Patcher. And you get the one on the right, not the one on the left, this one from the effects tab. I open it, and then I'll search for Browse Presets. You open this tab. If in case it's not open, you can find it over here. And from here, you just select the default and just open parent folder. This is the folder where there are the presets. So now you go on my link in the description or the comments, and you'll want the first one and just download it. And just go back to the folder and you just move it here. Continue. Then go back into FL Studio. And if you go to the presets tab, it should now appear over here. So now if you set play, make sure you're on the song.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together at the highest level of competition.
So yeah, this is how it works.
Complicated is when you...
So it goes from the input volume to the noise gate to the de-esser to the distortion and the vocoder, and then to the compression, and then to the output. It goes this shape. So these ones, we'll just turn them down for now.
What's not complicated...
And this one,
It's not
this is the input, so you just
in the world together
you just
at the highest...
keep it at like
What's
70%, 80%, something like here. And this
not complicated is when... What's not...
This cleans the parts where there is nothing. So you can hear that, but if you just max it out, you won't hear anything. So just a little bit like this, to like 20%, 15. And this is the de-esser. If you go back to the intro,
What's not complicated is when... What's not complicated is when... What's not complicated is...
this
What's
just
not...
removes that's from his voice. I will just leave it to the max, but you can tune it down a bit, like here. But for now, for this example, so you can hear it more clearly, I just max it out. And this one, so these two work together, especially the distortion, which is connected to the actual vocoder. So if I were to play it and
Complicated is when...
make sure it's all the way,
Complicated is when you bring...
go back to the picture,
in the world.
just crank it all the way.
What's not complicated...
There's no difference because this is connected to the vocoder. So if I just max it out,
What's not complicated is when you bring the best... What's not complicated is when...
this is what brings the harsh frequencies in his voice.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together.
I'll just leave it at max, just so it's clear what it does. And now the compressor just, in the name, is compresses the sound. So if I just leave it at 0,
Best players in the world.
it already sounds okay, but if I just max it out, it sounds very flat. And the loud parts are loud and the quiet parts are also loud. So you just... I will never max this out, just keep it at 50 or maybe 25, but I will not recommend mixing this. Keep track here.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together at the highest level of
So yeah, this is the controls, and this, if you go to the map, you can see the plugins that we actually use. So here's Speedface from the DSR, and then here's Vocal Synth with all the presets and controls that I searched forever to make. And here's the OTT, which just compresses everything. You can play with this and maybe make it even better, but from my experience, this is the best I could make. So this is the paid option, and this is 90% accurate, maybe 95, and it's pretty simple to use, and it doesn't cost much except from, of course, Vocal Synth. So now let me show you the free alternative that I found. So we'll need Grelion V3 and Kilohertz ring modulator. And be careful when you download the ring modulator, because if I were to, where is it? Here. I got this big launcher and it'll show you to download everything, but you don't need everything. Just go none and then just search for ring mod and then just download this one, nothing else, because this you don't really need it. And then again, after you downloaded these two plugins, just go back into FL Studio and then just manage plugins, find install plugins, and then just give them the heart so that it actually appears in the search tab. So now back to here, you have the paid preset, but if I were to go back to the folders, they also have the free preset. So if I just download it, go back here and just drag it in the folder, then now go back to FL Studio and just select the preset. And now
at the highest level of competition.
Is for
Not complicated.
And so considering this is free, it's okay, it's alright. It's not the best, but it doesn't cost you a penny, so I guess it's alright. It's pretty similar to the paid version, where just input and the noise gate and the DSR and the vocoder and the compression, and this one, the free version, has this additional ring modulator. So now I should show you the vocoder first, because we're not using the one that you used before, and now we're using this, which is more of an auto-tune, but it just so happens to be pretty similar.
Complicated is when you
What we want.
players in the world together at the highest level of competition. And I'm personally very pleased that we're able to do this.
This sounds okay enough. If you want to be even more accurate, you can select the audio itself, set it to scratch, and then set the pitch shift a bit down. So now it's
What's not complicated? What's not
so now lower. I can max it out, and then it's a bit too much. So we go back to, I think this 300.
What's not complicated?
Sounds good enough. So we back here into the patcher.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the
It doesn't really sound like 7 until we bring this ring modulation.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together at the highest level of competition.
So this does all the hard work. It's a pretty simple plugin. If you just enter it, just this. Make it here.
Complicated is when you bring the best players at the highest level of competition. What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together at the highest level of competition.
And yeah, everything works the same. The limiter is the exact same, the Speedfish, DSR is the exact same, and the OTT has the exact same settings. You just issue the Grelion and the ring modulator. You just control it and just...
And I'm personally very pleased that we're able to do this in Seattle for the first time in half of a decade. What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together.
And then again, you need to make sure you need a little bit of noise gate, because otherwise it sounds weird.
At the highest level of competition.
I have this noise that just sounds bad, so you don't need to add a bit of gate so you don't hear it. And when everything's done, you can just select everything, then go file, and then export, and then just, I don't know, put it in downloads, just give the name 7, just start. And if you go here, you can see.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world. Personally, very.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope this works. I don't know, haven't tested in other machines. I'm running this on a virtual machine to make sure it actually worked. I have no idea if it actually works on other machines. I hope it does. And if it doesn't, I don't know, text me or something, I don't know.
What's not complicated is when you bring the best players in the world together.